Namaste, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Krishna, Bharat Mata Ki Jai. So, brothers and sisters, Trump has put in additional 25% tariff on Bharat, on India, on Indian goods, basically for buying Russian oil. That's the excuse, I guess, because he's failing to bring peace, to end the war, because this guy, he brags a lot. But anyway, I had put out a video a few months ago about why India needs ICBM, right? And recently, you guys seen US is cozying up to Pakistan again. This signifies or portends to problem for India in dealing with Pakistan, because Pakistan has only been able to confront India when it's been armed by the US or China and stuff, right? Pakistan cannot do anything on its own. And the US intends to fight Russia to the last Ukrainian, right? What India, and not just India, but the rest of the world needs to do now is to move away from the American dollar. The American economy is not strong because it's the best and strongest and most beautiful, as Trump likes to say. It's not strong because of that. It is strong because everybody treats the US dollar as a valuable commodity. It is not. Okay? It's a piece of paper. And there's a bit of a racism and colonial mindset attached to that the world needs to decolonize from. The entire globe needs to decolonize from. So India, not the BRICS, okay? Not the BRICS, but this must be spearheaded by the BRICS. And it is not going to be a BRICS movement. It has to be a global, non-Western movement. I don't think I don't think Japan, they may or may not, but I don't really think they would. And the South Koreans, they have been mentally colonized, okay? They have been mentally colonized. I'm not too sure if they will move with it. But to contain the US, and we have to contain the US needs to be contained, okay? The United States of America needs to be contained. Trump is just the beginning. He's not a one-off thing. He is the beginning, okay? He is the one that opens the gate. That's all he is. He's the one that opens the gate. Worst will happen. Worst will happen. He's the one that opens the gate. Worst will happen. So Russia, China, India, Brazil, not South Africa, but the entire continent of Africa, West Asia, Central Asia, Southeast Asia, the Caribbean, Central America, Mexico, and South America all need to unite and create a gold-backed currency that they need to do business with, okay? And they need to create a new world order to replace the UN, okay? And in this new world order, Russia should have a seat at the table. India, China, the Latin America, and the African Union. Okay? And this order should demand for trade using this new world currency that is backed by gold. Okay? And all European and American and Western currency should be sold off, and gold should be purchased with it. Okay? And they should have this new bank. This new bank should be created. Okay? This new bank should be created, and the gold deposit should be held for all currency should be held at in 5 locations. Okay? The locations should be South America or Latin America, South America or Latin America, Africa, India, Russia, and China. And these 5 blocks should also have a voice in deciding. There should be a bank, okay? There should be a bank. There should be a monetary union, okay? And all currency now should be pegged to this new world or non-Western world currency backed by gold. Okay. The first currency, it should have like 1 unit of it. Let's say it's $1, should be equivalent to one of it should be equivalent to, okay, so no, let's say 2 units of it should be equivalent to 1 unit of American dollar. And the reason why I set it at lower value than the American dollar is because I expect it to appreciate above the American dollar and the American dollar to actually deflate. Okay, the American dollar is actually highly overvalued. It is valued because it has a perception value. Okay, it does not have, it's a notional value. It's not a real value. It's a given value. It is not a real value. It is just a value that's given. Okay, so this is why I want this new currency to be set at a lower value than the US dollar, because when that appreciates, it will force hyperinflation into the American economy. And the reason why that's going to happen is because the United States have exported inflation to the rest of the world by manipulating their currency and imposing their currency on the world. So this is basically the hens coming home to roost for the Americans. Okay, so brothers and sisters, if you go back to my video, I said India needs ICBM because I was able to foresee that the United States is going to become a problem for Bharat. Okay, you heard it from me first. Okay, my video is out there, and this is only going to get worse. They're going to use Pakistan again to egg India and to prick India and to contain the rise of India. Okay, the American goal is to use India to contain China, and then China will be focusing on India, and they want to use Ukraine to break Russia. And this way, the Americans will remain preeminent in the world. For this to not happen, the entire non-Western world, not BRICS, but the entire non-Western world needs to unite and unite right now. Okay? They need to unite and unite right now, and the first thing to doing that is creating a new world or a non-Western world currency. Okay? And through this currency, demand that trade be used in this currency, and let there be annual settlement and see who owes who what. Okay, and I believe that this currency will allow Africa to emerge rapidly because they can now demand real money for their resources, and not only that, they can literally mine the gold and create currency that is a resource, because it's going to be a gold-backed currency. And Africa, with its wealth, I've always said that Africa, while the Africans, and please, if any Africans are watching this, do not be insulted. Sometimes to address a problem, you have to confront it. Okay? The average African is relatively poor. But Africa itself is the richest continent and the most blessed continent in the world. And the Africans can actually benefit the most from this. Hopefully, the African leaders can unite. The Indian leaders can unite. The Chinese leaders can unite. The Latin Americans leaders can unite. And Russians can unite as one to confront American hegemony. Okay? America is not the leader of the free world. They have never been. Okay? They have never been the leader of the free world. They have been the leader of American interests and the protector of American interests. And the world needs to accept this. Okay? The United States have been on the wrong side of history more often than not. Okay? Ask the South Africans, ask the Chileans, ask the South Koreans when they want that dictatorship, the Taiwanese when they want that dictatorship, the South Vietnamese was under dictatorship too. Okay? They got rid of democracy in Iran and brought in the Shah in Iran. They supported Saddam Hussein in Iraq. Okay, the Americans have been on the wrong side of history more often than not. Okay, so I hope this reaches the Chinese leadership, the Russian leadership, the Indian leadership, the African leadership, the South American leadership, the Central American leadership, the Mexicans, the Southeast Asians, the Polynesians, the Caribbean people. I hope this reaches everybody and they all get together, exclude the Western world and create a non-Western, not an anti-Western, but a non-Western currency that is backed by gold, okay? Where 2 units or 3 units of this is equivalent to $1 US, because it's backed by gold, and demand that trade be done in this currency. Demand that trade be done in this currency. Do not trade with anybody unless they pay in this currency. And, okay? And peg your currencies, all currencies, to this non-Western world currency. And because the majority of the world, okay, 6 billion or 6.5 billion people, more like actually 7 billion people, that's going to place their value in this currency, conduct trade in this currency, it will by default force inflation into the US and weaken the American economy and break Western hegemony over the rest of the world and allow the non-Western world to finally become fully decolonized. Okay, so I hope there's a movement towards this, creating a non-Western currency where the non-Western world can all unite together. And I call on all the non-Western leaders of this world to unite together to create this non-Western currency and demand that trade be done in this. And I ask all the non-Western world to get rid of their Western currencies and buy gold, okay? Because gold is going to be king, okay? Do it. Make gold king again. Make gold king again and remove Western, especially American hegemony, okay? So PM Modi, I hope you take the lead on this. Do not sacrifice the farmers and the people of India, okay? Do not do that. Screw Trump, screw the Americans, screw the American dollar. Jai Hind. Namaste.